And you know what? Who cares if the video doesn't save? Who cares if nobody ever hears you? Why are you speaking in such a way to be heard? Why do you care to be heard? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. Why do you care to be heard? Why do you care if anybody actually listens to you? Why does any of that matter? Why do you care if they make fun of you? Why do you care if they don't? They will. That's their fucking job. The more that you're being yourself, the more that they'll do whatever they feel they need to do, and that's their job. I say that with love, but my tooth is hurting again. The non-existent missing tooth is hurting again. Like I'm saying something that isn't healing. Because everything's a reflection of me. And if I want to heal my body, I have to heal myself. So I know my tastes, right? I know what I like and what I don't like. I don't like dentists. I like natural healing. I don't like drugs. I like plant medicine. I don't like synthetic. I like natural. I don't need a woman to be perfect. I want her to be herself. I like the ones that are just radiant. And fuck, I love sex. Like, I'm a huge fan. Huge. I love pussy. It feels good. It's fucking good. It's, oh my god, it's amazing. Niggas always like to be like, oh, the pussy, blah, 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 blah. You know, usually it's you, right? Like, it's usually you that's the problem. Not always. Maybe she got some self-hatred, some whatever, but like, a good body mean a good pussy. 10 out of 10. All the time. A good psyche, a good mind, a good whatever mean a good pussy. So maybe it ain't you. And maybe you on point. And maybe you onto something. And like also keep in mind that if women are blaming men and men are blaming women and nobody's paying attention to ourselves, then we're both wrong. I don't even remember what I was saying, but it's like the abuser is just as responsible as the abusee. You saying that the man and his dick or whatever is giving you BV or blah 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 blah. You're fucking men that do that to your body at the very least. Or maybe it says more about the types of people that you allow into your field, into your portal, into your womb. I don't care to appease to anybody. I really don't. But I don't think that because I choose not to, that the universe will stop me from being okay. I think that I'll just lose whatever I'm supposed to lose. And ultimately, I have this fear that I'll end up back on the streets again. Like everything that I did was for nothing because I'm seeing insecurity in these other men in my life that ultimately maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just making mistakes, maybe they're whatever, but ultimately I'm protected even if most of them feel some type of way. I don't know if I already said this. I think I did, but with the email shit earlier, where he came and he told me like blah blah blah, I was supposed to tell you about this, and I was going to say I don't like repeating myself. I will say whatever the fuck I want. This is my space to say what I want to say. Which brings me back to this fact that this man, this dude, this whatever has been undermining me, and maybe I've been unconsciously undermining him as well, even though I don't intend to. It's just because, like, I guess, like, my lack of trust for people is also a lack of trust for others, and that has to do with my trauma. And I just said the same thing twice. Like, my lack of trust for people is what I see in others. What I see in you is what you become because I tell you to become it, and I project it onto you, which is actually a very powerful statement. So even if you weren't being that in the first place, now you are. You know what I mean? And I just saw a couple things from him that, like, maybe he was just trying to say what came to mind, but I was like, oh yeah, this. I was singing the other day, and this dude told me, shut the fuck up. And then he was like, just kidding. But he texted it to me. And I was like, no, you weren't. You meant that shit. And I said, no. He's like, I'm trying to watch my YouTube video and I can't. I don't give a fuck about your YouTube video. I'm creating music. I'm actually doing something original, and you're sitting on your phone watching somebody else's YouTube video, which isn't a problem, you know? Like, I assume that people would do that for me or not, maybe. But it's like, I don't give a shit about your YouTube video. Get the fuck off your phone. What? You're gonna tell someone to stop doing something so that you can better your own experience? Put in some headphones. Reminds me of when my family, I used to try and talk to them when I was younger, and they would shoo me off so they could watch their TV shows, so they could watch their programming. And I became the bitter person my family was. I was lying on the tree, and yes, I'm aware that I was supposed to make a point, and I'm choosing to not continue on whatever I was doing and whatever I was saying. And let me just go back to it for a second. I'm gonna just allow it to just dissipate. Because ultimately, what I've seen is these people don't want to be called out. They don't like to be called out. I know what I see. I don't have to say it all the time. It just ain't worth it. Inherently, I feel like my jaw is a reflection of my need for revenge. Just like, like it just seems so angry. But then, like when you look at a bulldog, right? It's like, did the bulldog choose to look like that, or did the? But it also became that way because of lineages of breeding. Like it was once a wild animal, and it's been smushed into a small body. That's got to be metaphorical to some extent. And then back to this idea of like advancing as a consciousness. We grow, we physically grow. Our heads get bigger, our bodies get bigger, we get taller, we get smarter, we get more in tune. So then, annoyingly enough, what if I just don't fit in my body? Or maybe I'm not fully embodying my body, is a better way to put that. My feet, I'm being smaller than I truly need to be. I don't spread my hands out all the way. And when I was climbing this tree earlier, I was like, I can spread my toes more. And when I spread my toes, ultimately, my hands, they spread too. I stop crunching and holding on to tension. And like, you get what I'm saying? I feel like I've gotten smaller physically. And I think that speaks to the compressed nature of my being, where I've kind of demonized those that were just like me to then be surrounded by those that want to see me fail or that have malicious intent towards me or whatever. God, there's such a draining fucking loop to be thinking in. Because on the one hand, it's like, well, they still ditched me. Like, you couldn't really say that those people in those situations actually loved you anyway. So just to make sure that we've went through the day and that we've kind of spoken on things, it's like releasing tension. Releasing tension because I can. Because I don't need to yell into this mic. Because I'm actually pretty exhausted. And I'm tired of clenching and I just want to be soft. Not in a weak way. Not in an incapable way. Just in a way that I use literally the least amount of energy possible to be graceful in movement and action. And I so much so hate how much I have to do that. And why do you feel like you need to do that? Why do you feel like you need to hate? I made a joke earlier, and I still believe in this joke. I said, I might have a demon. I might be possessed. And I said that to scare my watchers, abusers. But we all have a metaphorical or physical or whatever demon. And I personally believe that a balance between the demon and the light is exactly what matters. But ultimately, I'm fucking tired. Inherently, I have no desire to talk. This shit feels like a fucking waste. Um, I'll say this again. I don't feel shit. I have no desire to talk. And I love myself. But I just don't.